Second tee, Tiberi awaits his cue to head to the ring here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. You take a look at it. 4 of his last 6 wins have come via the knockout after his first 16 bouts did not have a knockout. He has learned some power. He will be taking on Tony Thornton. 10 rounds of middleweight action. This is sort of an interesting bout for both men. It's important as they try to get their careers towards a title track. Here's Dick Landis with more.
There's a note of desperation about tonight's featured bout. One man, Tony Thornton, is trying to revive a sagging career. The other man, Dave Tiberi, craves more national recognition. These are 2 men on a collision course. A win would be very helpful. A loss would be devastating to either man, especially Thornton. For Tony Thornton of Glassboro, New Jersey, his fight here at Harrah's last September with Hector Rosario was an attempt to rededicate his desire for boxing. In early 1989, he won the USBA middleweight title, then lost it, and tried unsuccessfully to regain it, all within 7 months. Thornton went the distance with Rosario in September, gaining a workmanlike decision. He later declared his renewed desire for boxing. 2 months later at the Philadelphia Civic Center, a strange thing happened to Thornton. He went down in the first round at the hands of Ishmael Negron. Back up, he went on to pound Negron through the next 5 rounds. Thornton, a former knockout puncher, could not muster the power to end it. He tried. He had Negron ready to go, but a combination of the fighter's tenacity and Thornton's lack of power kept Negron alive. While winning decisively, bad luck struck Thornton. He sustained a severe cut from a headbutt, and so at the end of the 6th round, the fight was stopped with Thornton in his corner, a loser. Two months ago, Thornton won a 10-round split decision over Ralph Ward. Tonight, he must regain his old knockout power and win impressively.
This fight has to be won impressively tonight, more so for myself than anyone else. I haven't had a good performance in quite some time. The governing bodies have to be watching and saying, well, is this guy on the tail end of his career? The promoters, Tiberi himself, them making the match must make, has to make me think that they think I'm on my way out and Tiberi is going to be using me as a stepping stone. As a matter of fact, I'm using him as a stepping stone.
I need to win this fight impressively because I'm fighting a rugged veteran that a lot of people look up to. And I have to show Dave Tiberi is for real, not only for my fans and the people that are following me, but also the rating committees. For them to take a notice, me being 8th in the world, I have to show them this fight that, hey, it's well-deserving. Dave Tiberi is a world-rated fighter.
Dave Tiberi from Newcastle, Delaware, sees himself as a young lion on the prowl. A year ago, he was on the track to a world recognition when he outpointed Jerry Williams in 10. Then suddenly Tiberi was on the shelf. Career commitments forced him to leave the ring. How long would he be gone, and could he come back to where he left off? He returned to the ring in February of this year after an 8-month absence. Anxious to test himself against Joe Summers, he attacked early in the fight, using jabs and body punches to slow down Summers. By the 5th round, Tiberi had taken total control of the fight. He bombed Summers with his punching arsenal. The fight was stopped. His comeback had been an easy success. Late in March, Tiberi came here to Harrah's to fight Ken Shannon. That fight was also stopped in the 5th round. Tiberi believes that you go with what works, so it is the jab and body punches that he likes to use. He carries the attack to his opponents and tries to control the tempo of each fight. It is expected he will do that tonight against Thornton. Both Thornton and Tiberi cannot afford to lose tonight.
No, I can't afford to lose. I'm fighting a guy like Tony Thornton who has a great name. He's been the champion. And Dave Tiberi is really going to turn it on. And I'm going to show people that I am for real because I'm well prepared. For 6 weeks now, I trained for this fight. And I feel good. And I sparred hard 5-6 days a week. And I'm ready to go.
No, I can't afford to lose. If I lose to Tiberi, how can I be considered a threat in the middleweight division, looking at guys like Michael Nunn, Mike McCallum, Nigel Benn. I can't even be considered in the same class with these fighters, if I can't dispose of Tiberi quickly and efficiently.
Thornton and Tiberi are about ready to get down to some very
Tony Thornton, the former USBA middleweight champion. 16 of his first 17 fights were knockout victories. He has not scored a knockout since 1988. We now pause for a regional break. Main event, Dave Tiberi, 6'2", Tony Thornton, 5 foot 10 inches tall. Tiberi weighed in at 160, Thornton at 164. The contract was for 163, give or take a pound. Tiberi with 3 inches in the reach advantage, 74-71, and much younger at 23 years of age, Thornton at 30. Bob Papa along with Donnie Lalonde, and we welcome you back to Harris in Atlantic City, New Jersey. A very big fight for Tony Thornton. He does not have time on his side.
Definitely not. This is a fight that he must win. He knows that. And Dave Tiberi plans to try and do everything about that. But this is a very, very...
4 of his last 6 wins have come via the knockout. Here with the introductions, our ring announcer, Ed Darrigan.
From the Broadway by the Bay Theater, here at Harrah's Marina Hotel and Casino, in the better Atlantic City, New Jersey, the boxing capital of the world. Sports Channel America's Pro Boxing Tour continues with this evening's main event. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round middleweight bout, referee Joe O'Neill. And now, my good friends, introducing the principals. First, in the red corner, wearing the black trunks with the white trim. He tipped in at an even 164 pounds. This fine young gentleman has 23 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, with 18 knockouts. The former USBA middleweight champion from Glassboro, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the punching postman, Tony Thornton. Thornton. And here's the corner in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the red and green trim. He weighed in at an even 160 pounds. This young man has 18 wins, 1 loss, 3 draws, with 4 knockouts. From Newcastle, Delaware, ladies and gentlemen, here is Dave TNT Tiberi. Tiberi.
Come to see you fight, not me referee. Remember that now. I tell you to break, step back. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. All right.
And we get set for 10 rounds of middleweight action. Tony Thornton, the punching postman. There is Dave Tiberi from Newcastle, Delaware. And Tony Thornton, he works as a mailman in Glassboro, New Jersey. He wants to deliver an impressive effort against Tiberi here tonight. His career, Thornton's career, is really on the ropes.
He's come right out to establish that early. Tiberi so far doesn't have an answer for him.
In this very same ring, on July 16th of 1989, Thornton was fighting Stevie Collins in a network bout for the USBA Championship, the middleweight belt. And this is how Thornton came on. But he stopped midway through the fight, and Collins won. Let's see if Thornton can keep it up for the duration of the fight.
Well, Tiberi also has to withstand that amount of punishment, which you've yet to see him in this tough a fight. Thornton is definitely the vastly more experienced fighter. We'll see how Tiberi handles that.
Thornton is 2-1 on Sports Channel America's Pro Boxing Tour. Tiberi is 3-0, his 3rd appearance of 1990. Good start here. Thornton coming out strong.
Tiberi is starting to establish a little bit of a jab here.
Interestingly enough, Tiberi likes to fight off the ropes, even though he has the reach advantage and the height advantage.
It could be a reason why his lack of knockouts is obviously taking away a lot of punching power from himself as Thornton lands that overhand right.
Both fighters will go to the body. The right hand by Thornton sneaks in. It appears that Thornton has come out and tried to establish himself early on, Donnie.
Oh, definitely. That was very, very big importance on his part, because Thornton has to show, like he said, not only that he's competing against the Tiberi, but that he can blow him away. And that's his purpose and plan in this fight. He has to come out and establish himself early. This is the kid he's got to take anything away from that the kid came in with.
20 seconds to go in round number 1. They have been fighting in close. Thornton has been cut twice in his career of significance, against Tyrone Frazier in 1988 and against Ismael Negron in 1989. Closing seconds of round number 1. It's scheduled for 10. Thornton against Tiberi. A big right by Thornton.
Big right hand here by Tony Thornton. He's landed him at will so far in the first round, but as you can see, he doesn't follow through with his whole body. He hurt Tiberi with it. Youth is so beautiful, he recovered quickly, but if Thornton would follow right through, it may have been over there.
That came near the end of round number 1. We start round number 2. Bob Papa along with Donnie Lalonde. Main Events presents Sports Channel America's Pro Boxing Tour. Tony Thornton in the black, Dave Tiberi in the white. Thornton, as we mentioned, 2 bad cuts in his career. Tyrone Frazier cut him over the left eye, and Ismael Negron cut him severely along the left eyelid.
You know, though, Bob, both those fighters and the styles that they would fight with Thornton could bring on a fight, whereas this fight, Tiberi is very much a stand-up or backwards fighter, and I don't see where butt could cause a cut in this fight. At least it's less likely.
Thornton has been the aggressor and has landed the more meaningful punches. Scheduled for 10. 1 minute gone by in round 2. Thornton leaves the house at 6 a.m., works until 7, and then trains afterward.
Tiberi almost went southpaw there for a second. I don't know if he was just confused or he thought it was going to trick Thornton. I think he's too experienced for that.
It is a pro-Tiberi crowd here in Atlantic City this evening. So anytime he throws a punch, the crowd will roar.
They're a very loud crowd. Not only do they outnumber the Thornton crowd, they're very loud for Tiberi.
Tiberi with lots of fans coming up from Delaware.
Another right hand. He just scores repeatedly with that.
Thornton then doubles up with a left. Brisk pace here in round number 2. Quick pace in round 1. Now let's see, the rap against Thornton has been that he fades in the second half of his bouts. That's why he hasn't been getting the knockouts or the wins. Can he keep this up, Donnie?
I don't know that he can keep up this pace all the way through. If he does, Tiberi's in for a long night or a short night, depending how he withstands it. But Thornton does seem to be landing with a lot, and Tiberi seems to be standing up to it. So we're in for an interesting evening.
Time remaining in round 2. Good combination by Thornton. We now pause for a regional break. Thornton and Tiberi slug it out as we come to the end of round 2, scheduled for 10. There you get a bird's eye view from Harrah's in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Dave Tiberi in the white trunks and Tony Thornton in the black start round number 3. And in between rounds, they were working under the left eye of Tiberi with the end swell, the hard metal object that is to help the swelling go down. He has been tattooed by Thornton.
Tiberi has the type of skin, though, Bob, that'll show any marks that are on it. He's very light skin, and therefore it shows, as you can see on his back already, a lot of reddening. It may be that they're just preventing something from maybe starting to happen, but quite often you can't really tell on a light-skinned fighter like Tiberi.
In between rounds, Tiberi's corner told him that Thornton will drop his right hand, double up with the left. And we see Tiberi score with the left hand to start round 3.
I love when a fighter, especially a young fighter, listens to the corner that adamantly. It's a quality that is going to help him in the long run in a big way.
Both of these guys, more than just boxers, very intelligent. Tony Thornton graduated from Glassboro State College in New Jersey. Dave Tiberi on the Delaware State Health and Fitness Council, has his own TV talk show in Delaware as well, and wants a future in politics.
Well, right now he's going to have to be very careful that his future maintains in boxing, because he's got his hands full. At the same time, he does pride himself on being a versatile fighter, he told me earlier, and he, up until now, has adjusted his style and started moving around and boxing effectively against Thornton this round.
Thornton, another good right hand. Tiberi trying to show that he was not hurt. Good left by Thornton as well.
Best way to show you're not hurt is punch back.
Well, this fight settled into a little bit slower pace, after the adrenaline of the first 2 rounds and the significance of the fight for these two.
Definitely, I believe it will. As well, as you mentioned earlier, Thornton has to have stamina on his mind. It's caused him problems earlier, and he'll pace himself a little bit. He needed to establish himself.
Here is something we have not seen much from Thornton lately. He is using his jab and effectively. This is round number 3, scheduled for 10.
Both fighters in this round using the jab much more effectively.
Time remaining in round number 3. Tiberi once again fighting off the ropes, and Thornton is scoring.
Tiberi.
Closing seconds of round number 3. Scheduled for 10. It's Thornton against Tiberi on Sports Channel America.
Before the guy's not in your league, you shouldn't be in the ring with him. And I was to prove it. Okay. Show it to him. Give me a mouthpiece.
Here's the end of round number 3. And another right hand by Thornton scored just at the bell. We start round number 4. The referee in the ring, Joe O'Neill, Bob Papa and Donnie Lalonde, ringside from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Glad you can join us here on Sports Channel America. We kick off our 2nd year of coverage. Donnie, how do you have it scored through 3?
Well, so far I have Thornton winning 2, the first 2, and Tiberi winning the last one. He established himself enough, I think, to take away the momentum, and therefore landing the punches and winning that round. It was interesting, in between rounds, I have listed here that Tiberi's brother, Mario, is his trainer, but it was his manager who was doing the talking, Mark Condrith.
Tiberi lunges out with a right. Mark Condrith really is like a manager trainer for Tiberi. He will handle most of the talking in between rounds. They eat cold pizza together after the weigh-in. Close-knit group in the Tiberi corner.
Big family, big tight-knit group, as you say.
Tiberi, one of 11 brothers and 2 sisters.
Tiberi.
Now a warning to both fighters for low blows. Tiberi appears to be finding his mark a little bit now, Donnie.
He does. He seems to be finding his range. At the same time, he still keeps choosing to fight in so close that I think it's counterproductive for him. His jab is being much more efficient, and he's just not using it enough. He's staying in too close.
Again, the rap against Thornton over the last year or so. He's come out strong, not able to finish off his man, and he wilts in the later rounds. Tiberi taking the fight to him. Now Thornton backing up against the rope.
For the first time in the fight that I can recall.
Thornton scores with a right, though, out of the corner.
I don't think Tiberi is used to going forward. He likes fighting off the ropes. He's cut.
Bad cut over the left eye of Tiberi.
Thornton's got to jump on him.
Oh,
right over
in a bad spot.
Real bad cut. Jump. He's going to have to jump on him.
And now Tiberi has to change his approach. He is a bloody mess.
A little bit of controversy once again in the fight game. Here we go.
Now a timeout by referee Joe O'Neill.
They're going to stop this fight, Bob. That's a bad cut.
And the ringside physicians taking a look at it. Dr. Frank Doggett taking a look, along with Dr. Paul Williams. And now Tony Thornton being moved to the neutral corner. I never saw motion from referee Joe O'Neill that there was a butt involved.
It wasn't apparent if it was a butt. It was in an exchange, and obviously the referee didn't pick it up one way or another.
And that is it. The ringside physician in the state of New Jersey has the authority to stop the fight, and he has. It has been stopped in round number 4. Tony Thornton stops Dave Tiberi. Tiberi with a severe cut over his left eye. And the punching postman, Tony Thornton, gets career win number 24, and a big setback for Dave Tiberi.
You know, Bob, I don't feel the setback is as bad with a cut stoppage like this as it might have been the knockout loss or even a bad long fight decision loss. This type of thing leaves it very open to opinion.
But psychologically for Tiberi, he was so focused, and his camp was stressing the fact of all the hard work that went into their big chance, and now they don't come away with any kind of victory.
Has to be very disappointing.
Eddie Aliano, one of the best cut men, with his back to you, working on Tiberi's cut. And let's take a look, and it might be a right hand from Tony Thornton that springs open the cut. Let's look. Thornton getting ready to unload. There's a left hand. There was a left hand. Unless right there with the right hand, maybe the laces kind of cut open Tiberi.
It's possible. There's also a bang of heads. But it did appear that that left hand seemed to have done it. Very unusual.
Well, we may find out if we get a chance to hear from Dave Tiberi. Tony Thornton comes up with the victory. The fight is stopped in round number 4. Tiberi with a bad cut. Thornton gets the win and jumpstarts his career. Back with more from Atlantic City after this. New Jersey, a sold-out crowd. This bout stopped in round number 4 because of a cut. Tony Thornton stops Dave TNT Tiberi. And there you get a look at Tiberi with the bad cut over his left eye. Let's take a look at it again. We believe it was a left hand that opened up the cut, and it didn't look like a booming shot either. There's a right hand. We showed you a left hand before. That might have done it. Based on Tiberi's angle toward our cameras, we can't see if the blood had started bleeding. There was another shot right there. Actually, there were several spots in which it could have happened. The cut is already open. So it was either a left hand or the early right hand that opened it up. And it definitely was not a butt. Because if it was ruled a butt, since half the card was complete, this fight would have been ruled a draw. Now here with the official announcement, our ring announcer, Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the advice of Chief Physician Dr. Frank B. Doggett, referee Joe O'Neill stops this bout at 2 minutes and 43 seconds of the 4th round, and the winner by a TKO, the punching postman, Tony Thornton. Thornton. And have a nice round of applause for Dave TNT.
Tony Thornton gets career win number 24. And a win over Dave Tiberi. You know, Thornton came out in impressive fashion in this fight from the opening bell and was taking the fight to Tiberi. Let's take a look again at what happened down the stretch. There's a left hand. We're trying to get another angle now. Thornton is blocking us out. Now a right hand. Still don't see any blood. And right around here is where it happened. That could be the left right there. Might be the inside left, because there is where the blood starts coming out. And then there's another left hand and a right hand over the top. But it looks like it was an inside left hand that may have done it. And ringside physician Dr. Frank Doggett advised this fight to be stopped. You see a terrible cut along the left eye of Dave Tiberi. And Donnie Lalonde is standing in the ring with a very happy Tony Thornton. Donnie?
Congratulations, Tony. You told me what you were going to do earlier, and you did it. You came out here, you established yourself, and you took this fight early and in control. Did you feel as control as it appeared?
Thank you, Donnie. Well, I didn't think I was in total control of the fight. You know, I thought that you know, things were pretty much going my way. I understood that he was going to come after me, you know, in the fight and not run like he had been in some of his other fights. You know, so I had trained hard. I was ready, and you know, and I was prepared for him to come in, and I was going to throw, you know, some body shots, which I did, and try and slow him down early. And, you know, I did abandon the body a little bit, but for the most part, I stayed to the body more than I usually, you know, than I have been lately.
All right, Tony, I'm going to be the commentator here for a moment, if you don't mind. We're going to show you the highlight of this knockout, the stoppage.
Well, we were, just like we were a number of times, you know, in close, throwing a lot of shots, you know. We banged heads a number of times, but I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I know it was a punch. You know, hitting with a right hand, a left hook, and, you know, I saw the blood, so I know it wasn't a, you know, a headbutt because I didn't feel, you know, our heads bang, and I saw the blood, you know, beginning to come.
It was very apparent earlier, before it showed on the replay there, that it was a punch that did it, in fact. And I don't think there's really any question from ringside, so I don't think you have to be concerned with that. It was a very impressive performance, Tony. What's next for you?
Well, thank you, Donnie. I'm not exactly sure what's next. You know, Dave Tiberi is a talented fighter, you know, but I just thought that I was, you know, a step up in class for him. Maybe a step that was a little too large at this point. You know, it's like playing, you know, Major League ball. You don't jump up from single A to the majors, you know what I mean? You go triple A, double A, triple A, you know, and then you're ready for the majors.
Good job, Tony. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Don.
Congratulations. Back to you, Bob.
Tony Thornton comes up with the victory. Dave Tiberi cut in round number 4. We'll take a look at it again. A right hand right there apparently cuts Tiberi. Now there's an inside left as well, which will come up right here. And you'll see an inside big left hand right there to the side of the head of Tiberi. And we believe that is where the cut opened up on the head of Dave Tiberi. Dave Tiberi gets his first loss since October 23rd of 1983 when he dropped an 8-round decision to Ronnie Essett. And obviously a very disappointed Dave Tiberi in the ring now with Donnie Lalonde. Donnie?
Okay, very tough. It has to be very disappointing. But at the same time, it was a very competitive fight up to that point. How'd you feel?
I felt really good, Donnie. I worked my hardest for this fight, and this is my livelihood. And great things happen. I'm not taking nothing away from Tony Thornton. A lot of people say it was a headbutt, but when you're in the heat of the action, of course, you know you can't judge it yourself because everything happened so quick. But I felt in the end of the 3rd round, I just started getting established, and I just started to box tonight because I was trying to back him up and take a little out of him because of his age. And I thought it was working because then I finally started seeing him back on his heels.
You're right. You did have him backing up. Would you like to fight him again?
Yeah, I'm really up to my management, but sure I would. I'd like to avenge that loss. And it's controversial, but at the same time, I'm a top 10 fighter, and I'm not going to make any excuses. I did my best.
You did. You seemed to be coming on in the 3rd round. As you said, you backed him up. From that point on, what happened that made him get a chance to establish himself again?
What happened was, I guess when he got me in the corner, I was getting ready to slip to the right and throw a couple left hooks because I noticed that he was getting on his heels and he was vulnerable for some nice hard shots. So I wanted to try to bust him up with some hard body shots in upstairs. But Tony Thornton's a veteran, and it was a good fight. So as long as I thought I did my best, and I pleased my crowd, and I know in my heart that I worked hard and did good, I'll fight Tony Thornton again anytime.
Great. That's good attitude. How long will it be before you get back in the gym?
I'm going to get my stitches or whatever it takes to heal this eye, and hopefully within a week I can start my road work.
Good for you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
And in my Sunday school class, I have 60 young people. I teach teenagers in Delaware, and right now I have over 1,000 on a mailing list. I'm getting ready to open up a youth center, so God bless all of you also.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Bob.
All right. Tough loss for Dave Tiberi. Cut in round number 4, and Dr. Frank Doggett advised the referee to stop it. Tony Thornton, the winner in round number 4. We now pause. Papa along with Donnie